In this video, we're going to talk about server-side rendering and client-side rendering. What are the differences and when should we use which one? Let's talk about server-side rendering. Sometimes you see it as SSR. Whenever you visit a web page, your browser makes a request to the server that contains the content of the website. The request usually only takes a few milliseconds, but that ultimately depends on multiple factors. For example, your internet speed, the location of the server, how many users are trying to access the site, and how optimized the website is, and some more. Once the request is done, your browser gets back the fully rendered HTML and display it on the screen. If you then decide to visit a different page on the website, your browser will once again make another request for the new information. This will occur each and every time you visit a page that your browser doesn't have a cached version of that page. It doesn't matter if the new page only has a few items that are different than the current page. The browser will ask for the entire new page and will re-render everything from the scratch. On the bright side, server-side rendering is very good for SEO. Your content is present before you get to it, so search engines are able to index it and crawl it just fine. Something that is not so with client-side rendering. At least not that simple. And this is the most common one. On the other hand, you have client-side rendering. Sometimes you see single-page applications, as we call them SPA. So everything rendered in the browser by using JavaScript. So we send a request to the server for the first time, the initial request, and then we will get back everything, and from there we will just render the data and the content we need. It is a new approach to compare with the server-side rendering. There are some pros and cons with both. Let's talk about pros of SSR. The first thing is SEO is very easy and much better. The initial page load is faster because you only ask data you need, and it's very good for the static websites. On the other hand, there are some problems. You have a frequent service request. So it means for every request you need to go to server and come back, even if you're going to change only small pieces of the website. Let's say you're going to change only one component in a page. It needs to go and fetch everything and come back. And overall, slow page rendering as well, because you need to get everything. And also, by this explanation, you're going to have a full page reload. And there is non-rich site interaction. By saying that, you're not going to have much interaction with the website content that much. You will render everything every time. Let's talk about client-side rendering. There is a rich site interactions. And after the first initial load, everything will be faster because everything happened on the client side, on the browser. It is very good for web applications. And also you have a robust selection of JavaScript libraries like React, Angular, Vue, and many more. On the other hand, there are some problems with the client-side rendering. SEO is not easy. You can have a good SEO, but it takes more time and energy. And the initial load, it might require more times because you're going to get everything or most of the things. And in most cases, it requires an external libraries.